Hey everybody, this is Doug Menhen, aka Gobblecock. Along with me is Kevin Bradley, aka Captain K. And this is the Fox Minds and Mad Hen House. Sorry. Yeah, it's that, right?
Yeah.
Okay then. I wanted to make sure I got the name right. Oh, if you're wondering why it's Fox Minds in Mad Hen House, it's actually because Kevin, or Captain K, has his own company, and I didn't know that. So we were talking and in terms of partnering up, because he has his label, and I want him to keep his label, but like our collaborations are like a thing, because like I said, when our minds combine, we form Captain Planet. But the reason why, what this podcast is about is the gaming stuff. Oh yeah, we talk about general gaming stuff. And what better way to open up than with E3? So why don't you enjoy this, me working on 3ds Max for a tutorial thing while we talk about E3, baby. Because, of all the things I saw in E3, how do I put this? I was only, other than Nintendo, there was nothing really that jumped out at me in terms of what is good. So, that said, before we get to the Nintendo bits, let's talk about the overall games that you saw. Like, for instance, Captain, did you see that stupid... Well, I don't want to call it stupid, but it kind of is. But, it is, kind of, the Final Fantasy Origins crap.
I have mixed feelings for that, because originally I had hopes until I saw what was there. So, initially my hopes are they will fix shit and make it better than it was, because it's not horrible, but it's not for the style they're trying to do, because it's almost like they wanted to do Final Fantasy 15 with the Devil May Cry world, but it's going to have a Dark Souls-y aspect, and so it's like I don't know if all those mesh together. I don't. It's a weird mesh-up.
Like, what the fuck was that, though? I mean, like, first of all, the guy... Why? Chaos! The man wouldn't shut up about chaos. I mean, like, every single fucking second he could say chaos. The man was... I was telling this to Gabe while I was chatting it up in, shit. What the hell is it called? Discord, a few days ago. Like, I was just like, what the fuck was that? Why the hell did he kept saying, he probably makes, like, he probably orders chaos on his coffee or something. Like, what the fuck is that?
If I had to guess, they probably didn't have a lot of audio recorded before they sent it out. So they had to probably grab the actor and be like, say me some stuff. And they gave him a list of what he was going to say at some point, and so then he probably just repeated it. Because the way that he did it so often seems like, okay, this is the main script you're going to say in these sessions, which would make sense then. But in the span of a whole game, no.
Yeah.
Reasonably, that they probably just had him record a section, and there's going to be like more to it, but there's nothing to... that I judge, I guess, is I don't know. It's that whole fact that they want to try and make it Dark Souls-y, and it's like, I can't... Why, though? None of them have ever been like that. And I get innovation, but not everything has to tiptoe into that area. There's, like, I'm not against the actual battle mechanics. They look like if you tweak them a little bit better, they'd be awesome. Mm-hmm. I'm totally into that, because I played Dissidia. So, but it's just the way it unfolds. They don't really have a story. Garland's just being Garland. Like, they didn't actually give him more character or anything. I know more about him from Dissidia than I did from that moment of just like, hey, Garland's sitting on the chair. He wants to be Chaos. Other dude yells about Chaos. I feel like he's going to encounter Garland.
Oh, fucking Dissidia. Of course you reference that. You're like one of the few people that actually, like, I played Dissidia. In fact, yeah, you let me borrow that copy when I was doing my, parking meter job thing back in Arizona. Like, I was just so pissed off at what they did to Kefka. I was so upset. Like, 100% upset. And I'm just like, nah! Because Kefka's just an evil douchebag, and they watered his character down something fierce. But wait, who was that character? Wait, who was the guy that the guy against Chaos was going after?
Garland.
Oh, okay. And he's actually from a Final Fantasy game. He's like supposedly from the first one?
Yeah, because when you go through the game, he's technically the first boss, but in a future... Obviously, if anybody's not played the game by this point, I'm sorry. Spoilers, yeah. But, he's your first boss as the Knight, but then later on, he basically becomes Chaos. And indirectly in Dissidia, it's still the same way. Like, Garland's there, but Garland becomes aware that he is Chaos, because he does become it at some point. So, I don't know. That's why I was like, I'm not sure why they're going back to try and, like, predate that when we're like, okay, we know Garland's Chaos, and this dude's coming to kill Chaos, so that's going to involve Garland. But you say it's in Origins before the first one. Wouldn't that mean you need it before Garland?
Oh yeah, that's true. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, because it's it is. It's literally an Origin or whatever. But one.
Yeah.
That should raise a couple eyebrows there. Should I scale? Yeah, I'm gonna scale this plane. No. Cause like, I don't know. It's just edit poly. It's just that the fucking scale. Like.
It just reeks of them trying to be edgy with Final Fantasy after they saw 15 was like okay. It was
exactly my point. Like you hit the nail on the head, and the combat seems like okay-ish. I guess. I mean, like it's literally near, or rather, whatever Team Ninja's thing was, wasn't it?
Oh, Nio?
Yeah.
I think it was Nio's. I could just look. I have it here on the shelf. Hold on. Yes, Nio.
Yeah, I mean, like, why use the Final Fantasy brand? It just seems fucking stupid.
Because they always have to be inventive, and they're redoing the pixels of the old ones, which don't make them look greater, but okay. We're at a point that we don't need to reverse engineer pixels. No, that's we did it because we didn't know how to get to the point that we're at now. Why are we reversing?
Right.
Like I'm all for nostalgia, but if we're gonna do nostalgia, let me play the original thing. Don't reverse engineer it, because at some point you're still not doing the same thing it was.
No, I fucking agreed, man. And it's not just that, like, I'm not gonna say anything about that, because, like, no, I didn't want to do another edit poly. Yeah, I know, right? I'm just doing some vertex editing now. I don't know, I mean, like, I just want them to work on Ninja Gaiden again. I miss Ninja Gaiden so fucking much. Because, like, 3 was such a
To be fair, they have been trying to re-release their normal 3 so hard that they don't have time to do any other one.
Wait, what?
You're like,
wait.
It's still the first game. How many times has like?
Oh shit.
Ninja
Dude, it's
Gaiden got up to about what I would say officially, if you wanted to count in installments, you'd be at.
God damn it, Kevin.
And then.
Kevin.
Yes.
You're breaking up bad. You're breaking up badly, but this time it's on my end. In fact, it was so bad that like I did not get a single thing from you. So I think we're just gonna have to. Like, what we just said, as unfortunately, everything up until this point has to be cut out, and I'm gonna try and switch, do something about that. Give me a second.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on. Come on. Let's see if this is any better. Any better?
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna start from the top again.
Okay.
Hey everybody, this is Doug Medhen, aka Gobblecock, and with me is Kevin Bradley, aka Captain K, and this is Fox Minds in the Mad Hen House. The reason why it's called that is because Kevin actually has his own company brand called Fox Minds, and we are collaborating. I would like him to keep his company brand, so that way, you know, we still work together, but his company gets his own, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh shit, it's on the tip of my tongue. Right? Exposure. There you go. Because, like, well, I mean, like, to be fair, we are two entrepreneurs, or as I'd like to call it, entrepreneurs. Yeah, and we're building something on our own. So that said, this is the Foxhound. Wow. Okay. Fox Minds in the Mad Hen House is all about us talking about gaming. And what better way to start things off than with E3? And my God, I was most interested in Nintendo because before we get to that fucking Origin Final Fantasy thing, like I did not like it at all.
Stranger in Paradise.
Yeah, I did not like it at all.
My weirdness to it is about the fact that they're using Final Fantasy. The game itself overall isn't like horrible. Like I could play it, but it just seems like they're trying to do an edgier version of Final Fantasy just because 15 was kind of okay for people. They were like, oh, I kind of dig Final Fantasy now. And then they were like, okay, make it edgy now. And it's like, no, just leave it. Leave it as it was. It's cool. Not everybody has to get it.
I just really wanted them to stay. Why Final Fantasy? Why can't they go back? I miss my fucking... Spit went in my throat. Because even I got choked up by saying, I miss my Ninja Gaiden, goddammit.
No, they're busy. They gotta do a whole bunch of other stuff. Team Ninja's thrown on everything else but Ninja Gaiden now.
I'll give you Ninja Gaiden. Okay, so that's how it's supposed to look.
They're everywhere.
I miss Ninja Gaiden. It got a raw deal because 3 fucking sucked. 2 is still like the best one. I miss you, Ninja Gaiden. Or should I just make this one object? Yes, I will make this one object. The tank chassis, I mean. Now, so, that said, another... Oh, Ninja Gaiden. Okay.
You're like, I don't even have words for these things they show.
Yeah, I miss Ninja Gaiden so badly. Anyway, but like, okay, I'm gonna ask, why is everybody obsessed with the fucking Left 4 Dead formula? I mean, have you seen some of the shit that they came out with? I mean, like, you had Rainbow Six, what is it, React now? It's not even called Rainbow Six anymore, it's called React.
Yeah.
Another one that's in the works, that's like you dealing with a bunch of vampires, but they're making it super quirky. And
to be fair, that's a different franchise that needs to go back to work on their original things, because that's Vampire the Masquerade. And they're supposed to be doing their own little things with stories, and they've been slacking on their return game, and then they come out with the what the fuck is this shit? Like, what?
I'm sorry.
I personally have offense to that game because that's in the wrong moniker. It shouldn't be a shooter game. I don't understand why this is being made.
Can you repeat that? You said that's supposed to be Vampire the Masquerade?
Mm-hmm.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it got all action-oriented. Because I at first I was questioning what it was, but then when I watched the video further, and they actually addressed it, it's like, no, there's still going to be storyline stuff and all, and I'm like, but, okay.
No, that can't, no! That can't be! Why?
Yeah. That's why my head was exploding when I saw that thing, because if it was just a generic... Like I said, a lot of stuff seems like they threw titles on them to be like, hey, we're going to refresh this title in this way. And you're just like, no, that could have totally been any other game. Why? Why is that named that? Why are you doing this? There's just so many things at E3. I was just so confused.
Those motherfuckers. Okay, people. If you're wondering why I'm so pissed, I'm pretty sure Captain K is just as pissed. I played Vampire the Masquerade games when Activision actually had the license to it, and granted they technically weren't. Let's face facts. They played mostly like shit. The writing in they were.
No. I'm not arguing. It's true.
I mean, it took a modder 13, 14 years to basically fix it and make it better, and by better I mean playable.
Yeah.
No, that's not fair. That's too harsh. That dude put in that modder put in a ton of work, and it handles a lot better. It's not just playable. Anyway, I'm dwelling on that subject. The point is, Vampire the Masquerade had that fucking decent writing and shit. But for them to have and that was supposed to be a Vampire the Masquerade game.
That's why I said everything's going through some weird edgy change where it's like, we're going to bring back old things, but we're going to change it. And you're like, but you didn't need to change it. You could have just continued in the installments the way that people have been waiting already.
Right?
Oh
my god, what a bunch of bastards. If you're wondering what this is, I'm doing something for 3DS in 3DS Max. This model will be available for free download. This is for a tutorial involving the Astra Militarum Basilisk. It's an artillery piece, and I gotta show off how to actually do artillery projectiles in UE4, which that tutorial will come out tomorrow. So, yeah. Not to brag. I'm just saying, if you want this model to download, you can get it at the Mad Hen House website, completely free of charge, because I'm just that awesome. And yeah, okay, I'm done tooting my own horn. And wait, hold on, I need to scale this. So anyway, but yeah, yeah, Vampire the Masquerade was such a good fucking. And it's weird considering how it came from Activision, of all things. Because Activision, nowadays, you don't really associate Activision with, good. You associate it with fuck you. Pretty much. I mean, that's what needs to be said about that particular case, subject matter. Anyway, it's not just that, because Activision, like I said, Activision did some good work with. It's not just with Vampire the Masquerade. They did great work with the Spider-Man games, as well as Spider-Man 2, the movie, the games, Ultimate Spider-Man, the Mech Warrior franchise. While it was in their hands, they did a damn good job with it, I thought. But yeah, now Vampire the Masquerade is devolved into Left 4 Dead. And same goes with Rainbow Six. God, talk about a fucking gear shift Because it's Rainbow Six. You're supposed to. That's completely tactical. That's its entire moniker. In the first game, you literally plan out how your SWAT team is going to move in. And now they're doing Left 4 Dead? Serious? Oh, Doug, they're still you're just being a hater. No, I'm not. A lot of games are losing their identities for what? Just to chase the fucking trends? Don't give me a fucking break, you prick, fanboy bastard. Okay, I'm really blah. I'm really.
You're raising that a little extra hard there, sir.
Yes, I am. Let's scale this out too. But okay, all right. Let me extend an olive branch to some of the games that I thought were interesting, or at least one. That's not Nintendo themed, or related. Atomic Heart. I mean, I don't know what the fuck it's about, but I kind of dig its aesthetic. That's not saying much, but I thought it looked nice.
Which one was it?
Atomic Heart.
Atomic Heart.
It's like this cyberpunk post-apocalyptic thing. Like you see a lot of weird. You have like psi powers as well as cyberpunk abilities. So obviously you can hack into robots.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it looked nice. I'm not gonna say I'm excited for it because I don't know what the fuck it's about. Like, I want to know the plot and shit. Yeah.
It looks pretty. It's.
I will give Obsidian credit where credit is due. I mean, when that teaser trailer for Outer Worlds 2 hit, I was seriously like, oh, nice. It's just, but then if you actually listen to the trailer, and like they're talking about how they're making fun of video game tropes, and then they were like, yeah, we didn't get anything done. We just got the title screen. I'm like,
what?
No, not the title screen. The logo. They're just like, we got the logo done. That was just beautiful. Oh my god, you have you have the seal of approval. That was funny. That was one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen. I will give them that.
Oh Lord.
Oh my god, that was so hilarious. I give that they deserve all the credit for that. That was fantastic. Oh my god. Okay, so now what I have to do is this gets exported out as the chassis, only the chassis. Because the Basilisk needs to have that back portion. Anyway, yeah, export selected. Chimera chassis. Anyway, but yeah. Did you see the fucking? Oh my god! Did you see that pirate? Rare thing? Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves?
Yeah.
I don't think I did. I don't think I saw anything on that.
It was bad. Like, they're like. Let me put it to you this way. You want to know how bad it is? They're so scraping the bottom of the barrel. They brought out fucking Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow.
Oh, wait, I do remember seeing that. Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess. It didn't... None of the other ones have been like... I don't know. I haven't played any of their pirate games.
Me neither.
None of them. I like pirates. I want to play a good pirate game, but it's just like, I'm picky. I'm not gonna lie, I'm picky about my pirate game. So if you're gonna go in and be like, I'm gonna just give you a few mechanics, and then you're not even gonna be battling on boats, and you can't really travel, not a pirate. Like, bye.
Right? Well, like, and like they're saying you could do stuff from the Caribbean movies. So they're bringing out. I think they said they were bringing out whatchamacallit, I think Davy Jones or some shit.
Oh yeah.
Actually, you know what? I gotta rotate this around. Well, I'll do that. Yeah, they said they're bringing in. Oh wait, no, I don't need another edit poly. I need to make the turret now. They're bringing that out, and I'm just like, fucking, why? Like, I get it. Like, you want like, I don't want to say I get it. What the fuck am I talking about? I must be high or something. Why would you want to bring that fucking franchise back? Pirates of the Caribbean is dead. Let it die, for God's sake. Oh,
they can't. They think they're gonna get some cash off of it. They must. They have to.
Of course they fucking have to. It's so stupid. Like, that is the... whatever. I snap? Yeah, I'll snap. That's for snap. Nope. Yeah. What else? What other... Oh, sorry. Sorry I'm being so caught up with, this. I know I shouldn't be. It's just that, you know... Anyway. I'll just do that. Fuck it. I'll just bring it. I'm sorry, people. I know. I should just be focusing on this. Or rather on, like, so... Alright, I'll change the subject right now in terms of, stuff. Because, oh my god, did you see that Halo trailer?
Nope.
Here's how
But I've never been a big Halo person. That's just me.
That's fine. That is completely fine. I mean, like, I used to be back in the day. They didn't even, like, talk about the story at all. All they did was talk about the multiplayer. And I'm like, people, it's the multiplayer.
Because...
Everybody knows the multiplayer. Why would you...
Because gaming now, they know that's the kink for everything. Is ooh, I want to be able to play with my friends. Ooh, I want multiplayer. So they're not making the story first like they used to. Because Halo, yeah, you could play with your friends, but you played because you were interested in the main game, and then you could play with your friends whether you beat it or not.
Yeah.
The way they're going to build it is probably, it's going to mostly be online multiplayer type stuff. And, you know, if you do some single-player stuff over here, maybe you can have, like, 5 hours of content, you know.
Yeah.
Because that's how some of these games have been doing lately, is just story content-wise, they'll be like, okay, just give them enough that we can make some cutscenes. And then they'll just be like, okay, let them do everything else. And the only model that makes sense on is any kind of roguelike. Because, yeah, you have no idea what anyone's going to do. You can't put a pre-rendered cutscene somewhere. They may never enter that room. Mm-hmm. Ever. There's so many games where there'll be a room that, like, no one knew for, like, 10 years, and then somebody finally was like, I turned right here. And you're like, oh, I didn't know you could. Like,
I didn't know you could.
Well, because, I mean, there's sometimes where there's little panels or things, because, like, the game Hellpoint, that recently had come out is kind of like that. Like, they don't really give you a flat-out map, and you're just going places, and sometimes there's some walls you could just destroy and be like, oh, here's a new path. But there's no guiding thing. Like, the main premise of it was just like, go and find out what's going on. And then you go. That's it. They don't guide you about anything else. So, in that model, it makes sense if you're like, okay, we're not going to talk about the story. But in, like, Halo, no, Halo's known for its story. And then you can also play it multiplayer with your friends.
Yeah.
And they're just going, multiplayer with friends. We'll tell you about the story later. And it's like, no, that's not how games work. You don't do that.
No, you don't. No, you don't do that.
That's what led to the disaster that was Brink.
Oh God, Brink! Don't.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, the audacity to try to compete with fucking TF2, Team Fortress 2. You have massive brass balls to do something like that. I mean,
it's
massive.
it's a sad thing.
Go ahead.
It's a sad thing. It's just
Yeah. Oh God, it is. And oh shit. Okay. But that being said, now to be fair, for the record, people, I'm not bashing Microsoft as hard as you think I am, because there are some things that I did find interesting. For starters, Stalker 2. I mean, Stalker 2. Have you played?
Yeah.
Huh?
No, I agree.
Oh, yeah. For those who don't know, Stalker 2 is a sequel to Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl. It is the long-awaited sequel. If you ever thought, like, oh, I love Dark Souls, play Stalker, because that game will kick the ever-loving shit out of you. Now, I'm not saying this because, like, if you're a big fan of things that are hard, I mean, yeah, I am, kind of, but, like, because it can get really. There were times where I was playing the game, the first one. I never played any of its expansions, like Call of Pripyat, etc. There are portions of the game that was just spooktastic, scary shit. The same thing, the same vibes that I was getting from Metro 2033 up until Metro Exodus came out and butt fucked its entire identity. It did.
It did.
It did. It really did. But at the very least, like, Stalker looks like it's doing well. So I'm gonna keep my eye on it. As it stands, I'm hopeful, but I'm hopeful. So you know, I'll be like I won't be like I'm cautiously optimistic because that game looks like it still retained its identity. First of all, like Stalker was always free roaming, so there's that. Second, like they're talking about like all the monsters and shit again. And third, they were actually speaking in Russian, which is nice because like you know that's a nice added touch because I like world building like that. Other than that, you know, there was if I piss you off, fucking fight me. I don't care about Psychonauts 2. There, I said it. Oh.
I'm kind of in a mixed area with the same thing. I'm not gonna lie, because I mean, I would probably play it, but I'm not going out my way for it. Mm-hmm. Like if it happens upon me in my life, then there. But if not, bleh, bleh.
Bleh. Yeah, exactly. Bleh. Oh, I'm not gonna care about Psychonauts. I played Psychonauts 1. I refused to beat it because that last stage was a fucking escort quest. You can talk about, like, oh, it's their first game. I don't care. Like, I'm not giving them that kind of credit. Fuck you. Fuck Psychonauts 2. I don't know. No. And if you don't like it, fucking fight me. Just fight me. Other than that, there was really nothing else to say about, like, Microsoft's, like, thing. Like, Sony, they had a couple of... They just showed off, you know, a couple of bits, like Thor.
Thor.
Yeah, Thor. Oh my god, but there is something I did want to fucking just yell at. Guardians of the Galaxy.
You know, the sad thing is, I have such mixed feelings about it.
Oh, really?
Because officially, Square is attached to it. So it does mean that they will have a good budget. I'm not amused at the fact that you can only play as Star-Lord.
Wait, you can only play as Star-Lord? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, you can only play as Star-Lord, so you can influence the decisions of the other characters, but you can't, like, play as them. And then on top of that, the combat doesn't look bad, but it looks not finished. Like that's the best way to put it. It's like I wasn't originally excited for it, but then as I like picked up more on it, I'm like, if they work on it, if they don't treat it like, oh yeah, that's its final state, then yeah, I can actually be excited for it. Because it's kind of interesting how they did it, but it still is a little depressing to be like, you're still going to be locked behind I am Star-Lord. So
But, like, oh my god, haven't they learned their lesson from fucking... Well, no, I can't say that. Because, like, you know, when, like, Crystal Dynamics was well into development of Guardians when the Avengers game came out, and then they saw what was going down. I'm pretty sure they're getting rid of a lot of what made the Avengers game shit. And by what I mean by that is, like, all that live service nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, they're like, oh, if we don't do this, and we're royally fucked, because, like, that game, for those who don't know, that game cost Square Enix $40 million. They lost $40 million on the Avengers game. So, like, I'm not picking up Guardians of the Galaxy for two reasons. Well, no, yeah, I'm gonna straight up say it. One, it's being done by Crystal Dynamics / Eidos Montreal. I do not like those studios at all, and the reason being is because, for some ungodly reason, they think their writing is a lot smarter than it actually is. Case in fucking point what they did to the Deus Ex franchise with Deus Ex Human Revolution and Mankind Divided. And if you don't think I'm not going to do a dissection of those two games, you do not know me at all. Well, technically speaking, I'm pretty sure nobody knows who I am, considering. But like that's neither here nor there. Point is, like, Deus Ex. What they did to the Deus Ex franchise is fucked, to say the least. And like, I do not have any faith that the writing in this game is gonna be worth a shit. Like, I have no faith whatsoever. This is Crystal Dynamics. They think their writing is a lot smarter than it is. Or hell, like if you played, oh wait, no, they were in charge of the Crystal Dynamics was in charge of the Tomb Raider reboot, right?
Yeah.
Oh god, even you.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Thank you.
Well, me and Crystal Dynamics have had some issues previously before too, because there's previous games that were okay until it slid into their hands, and I had to be like, oh, it's just like my chest is clenched. I'm just like hoping that they're gonna move people around and be like, maybe you'll switch companies. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Maybe you'll switch companies. It'll be fine.
Like, don't ruin the franchise. Just don't kill it. Just because there's certain businesses that's what happens. If your franchise slips into that business, it's doomed.
Yes, it is.
Like it's just so that's why it's like when suddenly you're like, oh, they're teamed up, right? They didn't buy them. They're teamed up, right? It gets kind of touchy when you see Capcom loom over next to somebody, because they usually don't team up. They're usually like, yeah, we're going to have that later. We'll let you be on here for now.
Oh my god. Man, I'm totally there with you. You know what? No, I'll agree to disagree. I don't want it, but I'm not going to get into that, because, like, No. I'm just straight up not gonna pick. I don't care if they say Guardians of the Galaxy is the best game ever. First of all, I have no. Well, actually, here's reason number two. So I have zero interest in Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, I knew of them. I mean,
you're like, I knew they existed.
Yeah. For the and it's not like no one else heard of them. Guardians of the Galaxy has been around for quite a while. They've been around since, like, I think the 80s? Or 90s? Yeah. And
they kind of grew more in popularity for the bit that they had in the 90s, but the 80s was about the point that they kind of came out. Like, I think it was late 80s.
Yeah. And, like, so what happened, like, their comics were never popular. Like, the only reason why it's popular now is arguably because of, what's his face? Chris Pratt. Because he does a good, I did watch the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I thought he was excellent as Star-Lord. He fucking killed it. But, like...
No, that was a big thing. I was kind of, like, shocked almost by how good he was at it, honestly. He fit the character perfectly. I was like, okay.
Yeah. That's the only reason. It's the only reason why that move the Guardians of the Galaxy like was ridiculously popular. It's because of him. It's literally because of him. But that said, like I have zero. I still even with Chris Pratt like doing, and like I said, he did a good job. It's just I have zero interest in Guardians of the Galaxy. However,
understandable. It's fine. To each their own.
Yeah. That said, I'm still like I don't. There was another game that I wanted to chat it up about though. I'm still trying to remember what it was. Before the Nintendo bit, because like the Nintendo bits, that is my jam. And I gotta rotate this 180. Is there any other? Excuse me. Is there any other games that you wanted to bring up?
I'm trying to think because I thought there was one other one that wasn't Nintendo related that I was actually intrigued by. I'm just trying to remember which one it was. Because Babylon's Fall looks interesting, but it looks messy right now.
Oh yeah.
So like I'd rather touch base on it like a few times and see, but that one looks pretty interesting to do.
I think I know which one you're going to talk about, because I'm just going to straight up say it. If any of you jump down my throat about saying, like, oh, Doug, you're forgetting Starfield, I'm just going to reply with, what the fuck is it about? No, Doug, it's like sci-fi stuff. You saw that. All I saw was an astronaut going into a ship. I don't know what the fuck the ship does. I don't know what that mech was doing. I don't even know tell me what it's about. You tell me what the fuck is it's about right now. I will not only give you a high five. I will blow you.
Dear God.
Like, they're just talking about like, oh, here it is, Starfield, the new Bethesda RPG, and all I saw was some astronaut who's probably like Bumblefuck McSquagglepuss just going into a ship. Doing jack fucking shit other than, like, activating it. There's nothing else to it. I have no idea what the fuck that was. I wanted to, at the very least, you could say, like, well, okay, at least, that one, Left 4 Dead clone with the vampire shooter thing. Yeah, okay, it's Left 4 Dead clone. You could see that right off the bat. Like, I mean, you could tell that much, even though it was all, you know, a CG trailer, which...
Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck is Starfield? What the fuck is Starfield?
It is Starfield. That is the best I could think. Is it's probably going to be like their Fallout in space.
Yeah, I know
because
that, but like,
it's going to be. But I mean, like it feels like it's going to be like, oh, you're just going to be out there exploring, and then you're going to get tossed up into something intergalactic, but they don't probably have any ideas of where the hell you're going to be, so that's why they weren't really like, you're over here. You're in the Andromeda Galaxy, or like, nah.
so
But that's what you do. When you go to E3, if you don't have all the details, you at least make it flashy.
Yeah, no, I get that, but it's still, like, I'm still going to call it out for what it is. Outer Worlds called it out for what it is, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, so stupid. And there's one thing I have to like defend Bethesda on. It's like recently, I don't know how recent this is anymore. When they announced that they would do paid DLC skins for Doom Eternal, and a lot of people started to like come jumping down Bethesda's throat saying like, Whoa! You said there wouldn't be any like paid DLC skins. Everything else, like other than those expansions. What the fuck? People, that was probably Microsoft's decision. Because for those who don't know, Microsoft bought ZeniMax out. ZeniMax is the parent company of Bethesda for like what was it, $7 billion? So when the paid DLC skins came out, that was probably Microsoft's decision. You want to jump down someone's throat? Jump down Microsoft's throat, not Bethesda.
Dang.
What? It's true. I mean, like, I don't.
I mean, yeah, but you're like, if you're gonna jump down their throat, pick the right one.
Yeah, no, seriously, pick the right one. Like, don't fuck with Bethesda in this game. Look, nobody doesn't like Bethesda more than me. Okay, I still hate those paid mods that they're still trying to like peddle for fucking Skyrim. But in this case, I mean, like, I gotta be the guy that defends Bethesda, unfortunately.
Bum bum.
Yeah, pretty much. But that being said, fuck Starfield.
Well, I have no argument against it because I don't know anything about it. So
yeah, exactly.
Like I know of its existence because it was announced, but I mean, like, I don't know anything. So
yeah, like, and why? How could you? How the fuck could you know anything about that? Even though, like, when it was just that fucking CG thing. Ugh, so stupid. Fuck it. Just fuck it. That said, let's talk about another game that, or rather, not another game. Let's talk about Sony's bit, because like they showed off the new Horizon Zero Dawn and not Thor. I think they showed a bit of God of War Ragnarok. Didn't they? Or am I being? Or am I?
They kind of implied towards it, but I don't think they showed anything like concrete.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing like impliedness of its existence, but I don't remember seeing anything major enough to be like, oh my god! Because I would have probably thrown a controller or did something.
I mean, yeah. It wasn't really.
I'd have freaked out in excitement and not thought about it, but.
Yeah, I mean, like, Sony, you've fallen so hard in front of me, man. Like, I used to. It's true. I used to be a big Sony fanboy, actually, when the PlayStation 1 came out. Like, I was like, sorry, Nintendo, I love Sony now, because, like, they gave me games that I actually wanted. Like, I could go on for hours about, like, Wipeout, Warhawk, Twisted Metal before 989 Studios destroyed its reputation, God of War 1 and 2, fucking, Jumping Flash, Medieval, Parappa the Rapper, Sly Cooper. Like, I could just go on and on and on and on about those games, man. Those games were fucking fun. Ico, Shadow of the Colossus. Oh, they were just all those games were just so much fun. Nowadays, it's just like, look at their catalog that they got now. Hell, did you know they're moving their entire, like, their main headquarters to the U.S. and they're closing their Japan one?
Really?
Yeah. Like, yeah, I know. I'm like, come on, no, don't do that, Sony. Don't get me wrong, like, oh, Doug, you're just... Don't get me wrong, like, you more jobs opening up here, yeah, but, like, keep in mind, like, I'd rather value, like, a developer that, like, still has its identity, rather than, it's just, it's just so painful. 180. There's 0. There we go. Oh man, so painful to see what happened with Sony. Still, at the very least, let's talk about the one that I wanted to get to, which is Nintendo. Because I gotta admit, man, Nintendo. Oh
yeah, their explosion of, dear God, they actually make me want to go get a Switch. I've been avoiding it for forever, and I'm just like, nah, I can't. Too much stuff's over there.
You know, though, like, the shareholders, they were probably pissed off that they couldn't get Prime 4 ready. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if Prime 4... Well, no, Prime 4's been in development hell, just like Prime 1 was. Yeah, for those who don't know, Metroid Prime 1 was was in such development hell. Let me put it to you how bad this was. Shigeru Miyamoto-san, he actually flew to Texas because Retro Studios was developing. Oh, they still are developing the Metroid Prime franchise. They still have it. They're developing Metroid Prime 4 as we speak. When he went to Texas, he went to Retro Studios to look at their stuff because he just didn't want to view it over Skype or whatever at the time. He made the entire dev team scrap all the builds, scrap every asset. I mean, everything was scrapped, and he told everybody to start from zero again. This pissed the dev team off, and Miyamoto-san didn't care. It was so bad that the then president of Retro Studios straight up walked out of the company because he fucking hated the fact that all of their games that they had were ready for like showcasing and stuff, like Project because they were working on Project Hammer and stuff like that. All of them were thrown out. All of them were thrown out when Nintendo bought Retro. All those were like that car racing game or whatever, or that car combat game, and a bunch of others. They were all thrown out, and they were just told to work on Metroid. So they were doing that. They did that. The builds they showed the different builds that they had, and like they were told to immediately scrap it. All that hard work gone to shit. The president left, and like they still rolled on. You can say, Doug, it's for better or for worse. I mean, like, I still don't know how to feel about that, but I got to admit, Metroid Prime 1, fucking awesome. Yeah. I mean, the rest is history, because, like, Prime 1 was awesome. Prime 2 was just as good. Prime 3, yeah. But still, I mean, like, I'll admit, like, I'm still kind of psyched for Metroid Dread. I mean, I'd like to see a continuation of the story, and I am intrigued as to what those robots were. Because those robots are fucking creepy as shit. But, oh, hallelujah, and give me a glass of milk. Fucking WarioWare's coming back, baby! Ah!
I saw! I was like, huh! It has been a while!
Yeah! Oh my god, I was so happy to see that. So fucking happy. Oh my god, I was like, what hell? I've been waiting for you, baby. I've been waiting for you to come home. I've been missing Wario for fucking ever. Oh, Wario. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna scale this mesh in Engine. But yeah. Oh, Wario. Wario has come back, and I am so excited, because like when I first saw the Switch, I was like, I'm gonna get it. Hopefully they'll have a new WarioWare. Oh wait, no, they're not. They're trying to sell me this 1-2 Switch nonsense. Oh, but now.
You're like, the wait has been worth it.
Yes. The prophecy has been fulfilled, and it is good. I mean, like, Monkey Ball. All of the Monkey Ball games on the Switch. Have you ever played a Super Monkey Ball game, Captain K?
Not on the Switch.
Well, have you played them? You played.
Well, yeah, in the past, yes.
Yeah, then you know exactly why I'm just like, yes. Super Monkey Ball is one of those games where it's just so like it's yes, they have like multiplayer mode, but you still want to stick around with the single player campaign and show it to your friends, because that is a fucking party game and a half. The single player campaign, the single players, the stages in single player, that's a party game right there. Have your friends just like rooting on. You take turns playing that shit. Well, oh my god, that game was so. Oh, the Monkey Ball games are fucking amazingly fun. So addictive. So good. So happy it's coming back. Not just that. Fucking Advance Wars is coming back. I'm like, ah!
Oh, that was true. I was like, what?
Mm-hmm. For those who don't know, Advance Wars started life on the. Well, technically speaking, Advance Wars has been around since the NES days, but it didn't see a stateside release until the Game Boy Advance, when it had Advance Wars, because it was originally called Famicom Wars, then Super Famicom Wars.
Yeah.
Now it had Advance Wars it had like 4 games to its name with like when it came stateside. There was Advance Wars 1, 2, Black Hole Rising, and then there was the one for the DS, which was dual screens, and then the 4th one, which was called Days of Ruin. Nobody liked that because it had such a huge tone shift, despite the fact that the gameplay was like completely unchanged. Looks like now they're just bringing it back to its original tone, which was like kind of kid friendly, but it's still Advance Wars, which is awesome because Advance Wars is the shit. And if any of you don't believe in that, just give it a shot. It's a fun turn-based strategy, really good, really fucking addictive turn-based strategy. Oh,
it is. I miss games like that. It's forever.
Right? Oh my god. But like, yeah, it's just like, ooh. Are you gonna grab, well, I mean, oh wait, no, you don't have a, well, wait, what, because you know.
I have to get a Switch.
You have to.
Because I can't look away from Shin Megami Tensei 5. I can't.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. I thought you were, because like, I figured you were a huge Tensei fan.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Because I've been avoiding getting a Switch this whole time because I was like, no, there's not enough games I care about. No, and then E3 happened, and it's like, fuck! I'm going to have to put back money now because I can't avoid it. I can't leave 5 after spending so much time in my life not realizing 4 even existed, or the other spin-offs. And it's just like, no, I can't abandon 5. I have to go with it. I get it's going to be on PS5 eventually, but look. Maybe I don't want to wait.
I'm just waiting on, because I'd rather wait for the Megami Tensei, because like, I know it's still in development, the Megami Tensei X Fire Emblem thing. Like, apparently that's still happening.
So are they... Because technically last time they implied that is how we ended up with Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Oh.
So are you sure that they're still going to do the original thing, or are they doing another Tokyo Mirage Session?
I mean, like, from what I read, they said it's still happening, so I don't know. I mean, like, I suggest you don't take my word for it, because I only read that, like, way back when. So.
I mean, mobile game-wise, I know that they're still pumping stuff out, because I have a mobile game on my hand, so they still put out alerts. They're still doing crossovers and different things like that. Mm-hmm. So it could be.
I mean, like, bleh. That's all I'm gonna say. Just bleh, because I have like I got nothing. I'm surprised that they're doing that Fatal Frame shit. Fatal Frame's coming back again in that one, because they're basically re-releasing the fucking Wii U version, that Wii U Fatal Frame or whatever. And I'm like, really? I didn't think it was that good. Or at least I heard it was kind of crap. But then again, I've never been a big fan of the Fatal Frame franchise, and that's mainly because I'm just gonna say, it doesn't scare me. It never scared me. No, it never did. Like, seriously, it never did.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it's scary it's supposed to be scary in a Japanese aesthetic, but after, like, the second game, that kind of did like the Silent Hill games did, and they kind of just wound off to where it was like, no, you're just dragging the franchise. Okay. All right, that's what we're doing now. Because the first 2, I will admit, in their sense of eerie aura that they could place for the time that they were, yeah, they held up good. But when you get to 3, you're like, no, this is just corny now.
yeah, that's what I heard too. Because, like, what was the second one? Crimson Butterfly, right?
Yes.
Like, I saw it being played. I didn't think it was scary. I thought the atmosphere was awesome, but I didn't think it was scary. See, the thing is with me, like, the reason why I don't think it's scary is because, like, while you have your camera out, you see the ghosts, and the ghosts are just basically, like, coming to you, like, some in varying speeds, but it's just all like, okay, I see it coming. I'm like, I don't think it's scary because like you basically blew your load in my face. Nah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, the atmosphere is fucking awesome. I never thought it was scary. I kept yeah, because like horror. How do I put this? Because like horror, for me, like horror. Yes, supernatural stuff can be scary. I still think John Carpenter's The Thing, the 1982 remake, scariest horror movie I've ever watched. And that deals with an alien that's literally a body snatcher. But the way like it was done, it was really psychological and shit like that. Fuck, what was another one? Not Amnesia. It was God damn it, Call of Cthulhu: Dark Corners of the Earth. That
yeah.
I mean, like it was, and the thing is, it was just a bunch of dudes. Granted, like after that hour and a half of gameplay was done, it turns into a shitty stealth shooter. But like by the time I was hooked, it was like I liked the monster design. What was another one? Condemned: Criminal Origin, heavily psychological, and all you had to deal with was a bunch of homeless dudes that just went nuts, and like the way it was handled was really, really well.
Until that sequel.
Yeah. The sequel.
See, that's what I said. Like, a lot of times, there'll be a great thing, and then they'll be like, let's milk it! And it's like, no, just let it pass. Make a new idea. Just let it go.
Let it, well, I mean, like, what's-his-face, the creator of Silent Hill, let it go. And he made Siren Blood Curse, and nobody liked it.
I mean, I think it got mixed things, because in its theming, I think it had potential, but then you release it like episodes, which he did back before everything tried to do it, so it made even less sense, because it was just like, what? So you want me to play this episode and then I gotta wait? Like, no, I have shows for this.
You know what? They can unwrap this themselves. But yeah, I totally agree with you on that, and they can unwrap this themselves. I'm already giving them this model for free. Fuck that. But yeah, I'm right there with you. Like, episodic gaming can be good if the story is compelling enough, in my personal opinion. That's how I felt with the first season of The Walking Dead. All the other subsequent seasons can go fuck a goat. Well, I just don't think the other seasons had much merit. Like, nowhere near as much as the first season. Other than that, but I'm, like, at the very least, it's nice to see Fatal Frame still getting some love and attention, Because, like, for the record, while I don't like a lot of the franchises that are out now, like Rainbow Six, Far Cry, not Rainbow Six, it's called React now. Far Cry 6, give me another one. Oh, fuck. Halo 6 now, or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see that those because, like, it's not, to me, it's not about, well, for me, personally, it's not about, like, another iteration. Because, like, if I want something to, like, just end, a good example, Resident Evil, I'd want Resident Evil end, but at the same time, I don't want those developers, those artists to straight up lose their jobs. So that's the only reason why I'm all like, you know what, I'll put up with this other iteration. I'm not going to pick it up. I think it's utter crap. But, like, at the very least, those people that are working on it still have steady pay and still have a steady paycheck. So at the very least, I'll leave it like that. And if there was another iteration of, like, let's say there's more demand for another Fatal Frame, so fucking be it. I mean, me personally, I'm just waiting on Bayonetta 3, No More Heroes 3, Metroid Prime 4. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to buy Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp, as well as Monkey Ball, the Monkey Ball collection. I'm definitely gonna get Metroid Dread, because that's just that's just me. Well, to be fair, I can't. That's just me. I'm a big Metroidvania fan. In fact, for those who are wondering, I was hardcore debating on whether or not Ninjas vs. Robots should be Metroidvania. But it should also be said that this is the first Mario Golf game that I intend to pick up because that looks fucking fun. Especially the golf race, whatever the fuck they're trying to do. You hit the ball, you have to the first one to hit it in the hole. Doesn't matter how many strokes you take or whatever. Like I really want to try that. I think that that's like I was kind of experimenting with that idea because while I'm developing, you know, the games that I'm developing, whenever I'm coming home from work, there are times where I'm just experimenting, especially with a golf game, because I thought golf could be fun if you make it funner, not so boring. And one of the concepts that I was experimenting with was Golf Race. And I would like to see how Nintendo really did, how they accomplished that. Because I really would like to see something like that. I just think that idea has potential, and I would really like to see its execution. Plus, I wouldn't mind seeing that story mode thing that apparently it's having. So
yeah.
But Breath of the Wild 2, I'm gonna say it, Breath of the Wild 2, I was impressed with what I saw. I mean, Breath of the Wild 1. Do you want to add on to anything in that? Do you want to add anything into that first, or?
Officially, no, because technically I never played Breath of the Wild 1 because I ended up playing Genshin, which ends up using some of those same mechanics regardless, so then I just never really went to go play Breath of the Wild 1.
Oh, that's fun. I was happy with Breath of the Wild 1, with how that turned out. I just like the freedom of movement and how I could organically explore, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild 2, I thought it was just be more of that, but they include. But it looks like it's a combination of that with some fucking elements from Skyward Sword. And I'm just all like, I don't know how I feel about that, but I really want to see what they do with that. Am I happy with the plot? I don't know. I don't know what the fucking plot is.
Hero of Time.
Yeah.
He's gonna do it. There you go.
Yeah,
plot.
Much. It's like, but then again, I don't play. There are very few Zelda games. Whenever I play a Zelda game, right, I never play it for its story or plot, unless the plot surprises me. No,
plot just jumps out and is like, "Hey."
Well, yeah. Have you played Majora's Mask?
Yeah. Exactly. No. That's I get that one. Yeah.
Majora's Mask, perfect example. That thing just jumped out of fucking nowhere. Another one that's a good example. And I know how weird this is gonna sound. Wind Waker. Not because
that makes sense.
The plot fucking sucked, but I loved what they did with Link. I'd say it wholeheartedly. Wind Waker Link is my favorite version of Link because he is the only one that has a personality. Dude is tripping with all sorts of emotions. It's adorable, and I love it. Yeah.
Then when he gets back in his bigger form, he's just stare at you blankly.
Yeah, when I played Breath of the Wild, I did not give a shit about Link at all. I mean, I liked Urbosa. She's the Gerudo, or is it Gerudo? How the hell do you pronounce it? Anyway, because I thought she was smoking hot, but that's neither here nor there. Overall, what did you think of the E3, though? What did you think of the E3, though?
I mean, I don't think it was terrible, but it was you could tell a bunch of people didn't have anything ready to go and were trying to throw together something to go. Even if they had other plans in the background or other games that they're just not talking about that may be closer to perfection, it may be something they just don't want to speak on.
Yeah.
But it looked like, other than Nintendo, mostly everybody else was like, here's our showy projective stuff to make you be intrigued, but we're not going to give you any real details.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Overall though, I mean, Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. Other than Nintendo, there was nothing really. Like I said, other than Atomic Heart and Stalker 2, those are like the only two things I have any interest in. Like I've seen all the other stuff. I'm not going. God of War basically lost all favor with me. Yeah, okay. Don't jump down my throat, people. I like the Kratos as a character now. He's fucking amazing. I love him. He's compelling as shit. The problem is, like, when they fucked with the combat system the way they did, just to make it more relatable, I'm just like, I don't know. Because, like, OG Kratos was a lot more fun, but like, you wouldn't want to, like, spend 5 minutes with him, because if you do, you'd know he'd find some way to, like, fucking decapitate you and use your head as a flashlight. New Kratos is more relatable, and he's a lot more restrained, but he's a lot more boring. So I don't know how to feel about this soft reboot God of War bit that they're doing.
To be fair, for soft reboot, he has a kid. Like, that's the only reason he's somewhat more boring, because he now has somebody that has to be like, oh, I have to actually be concerned. Yeah, because that's why everybody loved Kratos before, because it was like, no, I'm very much not concerned. I don't...
Yeah, no.
You'd be surprised when he immediately was concerned. You're like, why?
Yeah, like, no, I get it. And, like I said, love the writing. I love how the two characters actually develop and grow and have a bond at the end of the soft reboot of God of War 1. But, yeah, I don't know. It's just like I said from before. It's just God of War basically sacrificed its own identity on the altar in favor of what it is now, and I'm just like, I like the writing. I like the way the story progresses. Pacing's good. It's just when Kratos,
it became Tomb Raider.
Huh?
It became Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
That's basically what it went from. What was just glorious hack and stuff. It did what Devil May Cry 5 didn't do. Devil May Cry 5 was like, we're going to make a new game. And they're like, we're not changing anything. No. We're going to keep to what we like. And it's just, we're going to tweak it and make it more amazing. Mm-hmm. God of War went, we can't really tweak this combat anymore. Let's make compelling story. Which is understandable. Because then you can work your combat around your story, because you're telling the story of the character. There's a reason that, they're weakened here, or they don't have this. It's not just, no, you don't know it yet. You gotta be level 5. Like,
yeah.
So I'll give them that, but it's just like, it's a huge, drastic difference from a character in a game that you literally did bang in an orgy to get life back, to, woe is me, my son hates me today. Mm-hmm. There's a huge dynamic in that character. I get it should happen, but technically a lot of his stuff happens off screen too, so it's not like you really gave us a chance to build to it.
Yeah. Well, okay, let me clarify what it means to, like, retain an identity, because I don't think, I think people will be like, Doug, it's still like God of War, there's still blood and guts and all that crap. Yeah. While it's there, I mean, like, think about it when you played the original God of War, right? You show up, you're all of a sudden multi-headed Hydra, and then like it's just granted it was a fixed camera angle. You had like it was really artsy farts. It cemented itself as this kind of Greek tragedy-ish thing, because at the end of the day he still has to pay for what he's did in his past deeds, and he tries to kill himself. Yeah. But and then the second game there was just like, let's keep the high octane action, but just like let's make Kratos kill crazy, because one can make the argument that he was already kind of kill crazy. Let's just make him even more kill crazy, which kind of makes sense. Another game that kind of like fucked itself over trying to reestablish itself, Doom. Now, I'm not talking about the 2016 or Doom Eternal. I'm talking Doom 3.
Yeah.
Doom 3 decided to go the serious route and the horror route, which in its defense, now, and just hear me out when I say in its defense, the gameplay, like, it wasn't as fast-paced, but I really enjoyed, like, organically searching the area to find out where the fuck I had to go. I never thought it was scary, but in terms of, like, but, and this is a big but, the fact that it had to be called, it shouldn't have been called Doom, it should have been its own thing, because if you're gonna give it the Doom title, then everybody was expecting, you know, a fast-paced, arcadey killing fun. When it went the horror route, like, it just did this come out of left field that a lot of people just did not like, myself included. Because if Doom 3 was scary, I would have argued that Doom 3 stayed that way, that the Doom game stayed that way. But it wasn't scary at all. And the story fucking sucked, but, like, I was hoping more for the horror. But, like, because it kind of failed at being a horror game, in my personal opinion, like, now I'm just gonna be like, yeah, I like organically searching everything, but other than that, it shouldn't have been called Doom 3. So that's the kind of thing that I'm trying to say. Another game that kind of fucked itself over trying to change its identity, Dino Crisis.
Yeah, I don't even. Oh, it did so much. It went so crazy. I don't even.
Yeah.
It was such a huge jump that it took in all angles of everything. It was insane. I was just like, because I loved 1.
Yeah.
2, I was like, okay, I'm gonna work with you. I'll work with you. But then when you're like, hey, we're gonna be in space, and you're like, wait, no, you've already started off too much. Why are dinosaurs in space? Why?
Exactly, yeah. Okay, for those who don't know what the fuck we're talking about, actually, I think there's a fan remake of the first one. Anyway, Dino Crisis was literally Resident Evil Jurassic Park. Like, it used Resident Evil's engine, but then it was just all like, hey, let's put dinosaurs in there, and let's make it, and let's tone up and let's just drive up the violence.
If you wanted even more confirmation, a secret code in back, if you had a PlayStation and you had Resident Evil Nemesis 3, you could put in a code and there was a costume change to be the fuck's her name? The lady, the main girl.
Oh shit.
In Dino Crisis.
Fuck.
I'm trying to remember her name for the life of me.
Wait, you're not sharing your screen. I am. Why don't you just Google it?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, but, like, the thing is, I guess what, like, the designers thought was this, they were just all like, dude, I'm sick of being called Resident Evil, but with dinosaurs. We need to actually do something to, like, have its own identity type deal. And then Dino Crisis 3 happened. Dino Crisis 3 not only took place in outer space, first of all, it took place several hundred years in the future. You were on this ship. And there were dinosaurs in outer space that were, like, cyberized or whatever. Mutated and all this shit. The plot made no fucking sense, but then again, that's par for the course. Capcom cannot write good stories to save their fucking lives. But not only did they not make it a horror game, they were trying, but they were leaning more towards Metroidvania. Which, it's stupid. Because first of all, you can't, oh no, I'm so, let me put it to you this way. You can't have a horror game if your main character has a fucking jetpack.
I mean, they did kind of contradict that for it later, because then they were like, hey, T-Rex has jetpack too. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, that is true. Like, but
I was like, that did catch me off guard in that novel, because I was just kind of like, because yeah, that was the first big thing, is like, the controls suck, but if you understand where your boost button is, the only reason you got hit is because you stared at it.
Yeah.
They had such low, like, they were so slow in their warning to be like, I'm gonna do stuff, except for those moments when it was like, here's the cyber version, because then it's being propelled by a rocket, so you can't really. It just comes from the fuck off screen.
Yes.
It'll just be like, and you're like, what did? They can't shoot over there, and like it's. And even if you did, it didn't do any good, because if the camera didn't acknowledge you was over there, your bullets basically just went into the ether until the monster appeared on the screen. Yeah. You'd never hit it. You'd just be wasting bullets.
For the record, I didn't think that was scary. I just thought it was more silly, and I'm just all like, what the fuck? This is stupid. Why am I...
No, it was never... No, I was more intimidated by the very first game. Even now, I would still be more intimidated by the first game, because it rolled things out slow enough where you're like, oh, but they just didn't have enough dinosaurs. Then you get to 3, and they're like, let's have a ton of dinosaurs, but let's just do stuff. And you're like, no, we have a game for that. That's Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Oh my god.
Like, Anjanath is just as bad as a jetpack T-Rex. I'm done with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But...
So, for the record, there is, I distinctively remember a fan remake is in the works, and like I saw a couple of screenshots and it looked pretty damn good. It's actually using Unreal Engine 4. I don't know how far into I don't know how far into development it is. Like I saw this like I'll say like 2 or 3 years ago, and like the screenshots they had were fucking phenomenal. It looked amazing. So take from that what you will. I played Dino Crisis 1, I didn't play 2, but I played 3, and I was just all like, oh my god, what the fuck have they done to you, Dino Crisis? I get what they were trying to do. They didn't want to be called Resident Evil, but with dinosaurs. That's it.
Yeah.
But there was...
But you could see the drastic change, though, because the first, that's basically what it got called. Mm-hmm. The second, you could tell they were trying to lean in a more action pace, but the way they did it was more arcadey almost, but they weren't trying to be in an arcade, so that's kind of why it didn't work. But then when they went to the third, they're like, okay, game console at home, jetpacks, moving around, yeah, but you need a real plot other than dinosaurs in space.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Even Jurassic Park could write a story about why the dinosaur is in space. There's a reason, but in Dino Crisis 3... by the time you get to the reason, it still makes no sense. Mm-hmm. Like, it's so... because it ends up being like a time paradox thing that occurs. Because it was like they went back in time, but then it forced them to go forward, but then it threw them back, and I was just like, no! Doctor Who doesn't even do this. Stop!
Yeah, the plot... oh my god. Like I said, the plot was stupid and...
interesting game that I've been noticing... that I'm intrigued about is Ollie World. I've seen like weird little trailers of it. It wasn't even at E3, just random commercials that's popped up. It looks interesting.
What's it about?
Apparently you're going to be big in the city skateboarding. But it has a very... This is another game that has something similar to its style. I can't think of the wording for it 100%. Look, we'll just do it the easy way. I'll just read it. Because yet again, you're not screen sharing.
Yeah, I'm screen sharing right now. I can't.
So hold on, let me just get the details, and that'll just solve it all.
And while you're getting the details up and running, there is another game that actually interested me. I don't know if it's... I don't know if it's for the Switch, but I think it's on all other consoles and PC. That college simulator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's this college simulator sequel, and you can make it. It's like this extremely silly college simulator. You can have like a class on how to be a superhero or something like that. It's just extremely silly. And like it's kind of like it's Sims-esque, but like sillier. And I'm like, oh my god, I seem strangely interested in this.
You're like, I am intrigued.
Well, yeah.
I am intrigued.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, go ahead.
I know what it is. Okay, sorry. I was also reading while we were talking. Go ahead.
No. Seeing as how you found it, like, spit it out.
So apparently, the Ollie Ollie World game that I was interested in has existed for a period of time because there was a series.
Okay.
So it was by Roll7 was the developer.
Mm-hmm.
And so now apparently Nintendo announced Nintendo's Indie World presentation, Ollie Ollie World. Yep, and it's about skateboarding. So it is going to be like a mix of 2D gameplay and 3D gameplay with puzzles, rhythm, platforming, like different things like that. Because it takes place in the place called Radland.
Yeah, I think I saw a little bit of that when they were doing their Nintendo Bit.
Yeah, like they didn't throw a bunch of heavy coverage to it, but it seemed really, really intriguing for me.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you're talking to someone that enjoyed, like, that played, that loved Fire Emblem Three Houses, but, like, I loved being a teacher in that game more than actually going to war in that game. So, yeah, and that's what that silly college simulator is tickling, because I am a teacher. I'm a college teacher as well. So it's just like it's tickling that little thing in my head, and I'm just all like, why does this look... First of all, this looks so silly and stupid, but why do I want it so bad? Yeah. I honestly want it. I want it really, really bad. It looks silly and fun, and I think I'm gonna love it.
I mean, to each their own. There's like I said, there's tons of guilty pleasure games that I have that, like, at some point someone would probably be like, why would you? Why? It's like, but it just, yeah, contrary to what will probably be like the destruction of any gaming person's comparison to me, I very the fuck much enjoy the PS2 Eon Flux game. Like, the storyline has major flaws. Major. But gameplay-wise, no. It was treated very harshly for its time. It was pretty innovative.
Okay. I mean, hell, I like The Sims 3, and I hate EA, so...
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've played an EA game in a while.
No.
Not on purpose. I just think I haven't played one in a while. I just now think about it. I've not seen their logo on my TV in quite some time.
That's probably a good thing. Like, until they reverse a lot of their policies, I'm straight up like, I'm not playing any of their games out of sheer protest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's sad how all that's been coming out about video game companies and the glorious crunch that there is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but EA was the biggest perpetrator on that. But, like, for instance, but they're not going to change. Do you know what, I saw their, hold on. You want to know what made them the most money in, like, the past, like, fiscal year? Like, I can tell you right
I want to be like microtransactions, honestly.
Oh, yeah, but you want to know from where?
Where?
Apex Legends, the god-awful loot box system.
Oh, yeah, I had a friend who was wearing the fuck out of those.
Yeah. Apex Legends, the loot box system, netted them something around like $4 or $5 billion or something like that, I heard. It's ridiculous.
Dear God.
Yeah. That's why they don't want to get rid of the loot box system, because it's literally their biggest thing, their biggest cash cow. So, yeah. Fuck EA. Anyway, that being said, I think this is a good time to end our first bit with Foxmind and the Mad Hen House. If you're wondering what this is sponsored by, you can keep wondering, because only the Slab Lounge has sponsors. Damn it! Or at least for the time being. Maybe we'll actually get real sponsors for Foxmind and the Mad Hen House. That's not to say Mother Clucker Chicken won't exist. Maybe I'll make it exist somehow. Maybe I might sell Mother Clucker Buffalo Chicken Swongs. maybe I'll have Stephanie dildos. Ooh, that would be funny as fuck, wouldn't it? That would be funny as fuck. Imagine that shit. We start making like let's say I have like this 3D artist, and like he's like, yeah, sure, I can make all types of dildos. He starts doing that. All of a sudden, Hustler or like adult shops find out, and they start like, hey, can we like get in some of that action or something like that? That would be fucking amazing. Like I would. You know, like a lot of people would be like, oh my god, Bad Hen House is so depraved. I don't care. I will wear that. I will wear that medal. Like, I will wear that medal, man. Are you kidding me? Like, we got noticed by a professional porn company? Fuck yeah! Because in the end, isn't that the dream of America?
I don't know if all of America. California and Florida, maybe. But I don't know if all America.
You say that now, you'd be surprised. So, yeah, like, I hope you guys like this format, in all honesty. Because I really don't, while the Slab Lounge is mainly a place where you can turn your brain off and, like, hear us, like, you know, laugh our asses off and shit like that, I think, well, considering how the tone has been, it's pretty much, like, this is just about dialogue rather than, like, you know, hey, dick jokes, you know what I mean? I think that's, because, like, while me and Captain K never really agreed on what kind of theme, or rather, what kind of vibe we'd be bringing for the Fox Mines and the Mad Hen House casts, the fact that we kept it so... We did keep it chill, but not, like, super hilarious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were trying to stay a little more on topic than normal, where we obviously can change after 2 sentences.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But yeah, like I hope all of you guys like this kind of format. If any of you have like any, like, do you agree with anything that we said, disagree, etc., etc.? I'd really love to know your thoughts. Like, because like I would like to have this like be an open Hell, I would love to do an AMA like for this, and like Captain, if you're down for it, like I would love just us two like just doing an AMA, like saying, hey, let's just have this open dialogue or live stream bullshit or live stream shit where we're just talking, etc. on like you know, overall like general game topics, and like I'd love to like know some of your responses on this.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Yeah, like because this is actually like I actually like this kind of format. Whereas the Slab Lounge, that's a Slab Lounge. You don't touch that. Yeah, no, it's true because like it's a Slab Lounge. Slab Lounge is all about like, you know, eat a dick and all that shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. That's slightly different content.
So, that said, let me know what's your favorite game. Well, let us know what your favorite showcasing at E3 was. Let us know like what you're looking forward to the most, why, whatever, and in the comment section below. You take care, everybody, and what's a good send-off? I don't want to use later on. Should I use later on? What's a good send-off?
I mean, I guess we're going to have to think of a new one for it, because it's going to be separate, so it's like, I don't know. Well, I mean, for right now, you don't necessarily need one right now, so I mean, you could still say later on, and then we'll just later on figure out whatever the hell it'll be.
I don't want to. Later on, that's we'll think of something. We'll think of a good send-off time. Oh, here's a good send-off line for now. Well, yeah, happy Friday.
True.